it's all about news today because we haven't heard about the city or the specific dates for Eurovision. However, let's start by saying that we've been nominated to the EMA Awards.
Woo! So exciting! Our first nomination.
So it's the Eurovision Music and Media Awards, and you can vote for us in the fan media category from the 15th of August. So you can go to Instagram and vote for us.
Yeah, it's very exciting, and we are sharing the platform with very nice people, very great creators all around. But I think we're very honored to have been nominated for this.
Yes, we love it. But we need to go on to Eurovision, proper Eurovision news today, and let's go.
They don't nominate you for nothing. You have to do the work anyway.
Exactly, that's what we're doing here.
Exactly. So welcome to the Eurovisionphiles.
So yeah, we're still waiting for the city, which apparently is going to be announced next week. And I'm saying apparently because they first said that it was going to be the 8th of August, and then they keep delaying the thing. So it's supposedly to be on the 20th of August. But the first thing I would like to discuss is these rumors about the new Belgium representative, apparently.
I think it seemed to be a credible rumor for me because Belgium seems to announce things quite early on. In the past couple of years, Musi was the first one in 2023 for the 2024 contest, and then we had Red Sebastian. I think he was also one of the first. Not the first, I believe. That might have been Theo Evan.
Theo.
But yeah, they're always one of the first countries to announce it. So suddenly we get this information, and everyone explodes.
So the person we're talking about here, it's Loic Notet. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Sorry. And he represented Belgium already in 2015, with a banger of a song, actually. A lot of people got excited seeing another return to Eurovision because we like to see old faces come back, of course, new ones. So yeah, as Maria said, Eurovision fan media and fan community, I think, exploded because, of course, it was like the first news that we have ahead of the new season.
Exactly. I think also personally I freaked out a bit. I said I need the city before. It's like I try to be an organized person. I need to be organized with these things. First the city, then I can say this person is going to that city, and then this changed my plans completely. However, now it seems to have been unannounced, or just they've mentioned now that this was not accurate.
Yeah, so the broadcaster actually said that it's not true, and I would be really surprised if by, I don't know, 1st of September they would say, no, actually it was true.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could still happen, but yeah, it would now be a backtrack of the backtrack, and it's strange. It's a strange situation. I would really be interested in finding out where the rumor came from, which you can probably trace back to whoever announced this first. But what I definitely say is, creating rumors for the sake of nothing. It's just it's painful for everyone. I mean, I know it's a silly thing in the context of the contest. Who's gonna go to, who's gonna be announced as the first person? When they're announced, we will know, and it's nothing big to worry about. But just like, creating anticipation, especially for the fans of these artists.
Yeah. There's another rumor actually that we were mentioning all this fake. It's not even fake
It's
news.
fake news.
It's rumors. Yeah, basically, and saying that Kesha, the singer Kesha, very well known, is said to be representing the United States in Eurovision. I mean, what the hell? That everything is wrong. The United States are not to participate in Eurovision at least next year. And I've been seeing all this everywhere. Like, you know, these accounts, they just copy the information from one another and they just don't really check the source or anything that they say.
Yeah, super important, I think, for certain rumors to double check if they are right, because some are wild. What you're saying
This
about
one is
Kesha.
wild.
I mean, I don't think. First of all, we would need to hear that the United States have been invited to come to Eurovision, because I think Australia is still an invitation matter. Obviously, they are not in Europe. Yeah, first announce that the United States are going to Eurovision, and then we will talk about the artists. But yeah, excuse me, but this is just like nonsensical.
Yeah. Of course, people are wanting to see a return to, well, of some countries. For instance, there's this writing camp happening in Romania, and some people thought that these also might be that they're coming back to Eurovision
Correct.
after 2 years non-participating.
Yeah. I think the will from artists is probably there. It's what we need to understand is what the broadcasters are doing and if they're willing to throw in the money. Because I think the last few that have dropped has been precisely because of that. Moldavia, I think, was the last one that we knew dropped last year because of the budget. It is a very substantial amount of money that they have to throw in. Even if you're not in the big five, that's another one that would have to throw a lot. Or if you're not the organizer. But yeah, it would be very exciting to see some of these countries come back.
Yeah, we love it. Even new countries. Kosovo is still in the conversation.
Yes.
I'm dying for Kosovo to be in Eurovision for the first time.
It will be very exciting. Another country to add. I think in our dashboards, I think we got about 50-something countries that have participated in Eurovision at one point or another. So Kosovo would be another one.
Yeah,
we could get Dua Lipa representing Kosovo now. She's now a new Kosovan citizen. So
Rita Ora could
Rita Ora as
represent
well.
Kosovo too.
Exactly.
Who was in Eurovision already in Liverpool as
Yes.
part of the interval. So,
Exactly. So imagine they could bring big starts.
yeah, they need the membership for the EVU, which they don't have yet.
Yeah. For new countries, that's the main issue. For the ones that just retire for the budget.
Yeah, and also the problem with Kosovo is that some members of the European Broadcasting Union, I mean countries, they don't want to recognize the country as a country. For instance, in Spain, they don't recognize Kosovo as an independent country. So I think there's like more political pressures rather than, yeah, give me the money and I give you this certificate saying that you're a member now.
Exactly. Yeah. I think, Eurovision always say they're non-political, even though it's very, very arguable whether they are. So I think for the same rule, you could say it depends on broadcaster membership of the EBU. So if Kosovo applied and they were accepted, then it would be very difficult, I think, for some of these countries to actually argue against them. But this is a conversation that could lead to very strange paths that we don't want to get into.
Yeah. Do you know another country that is not even rumor? There's some conversation whispering that they might come back, maybe not next year. Turkey. Apparently, the broadcaster is feeling some pressures on the return to Eurovision.
Yes.
Exciting.
Yes. Again, another one as well where politics are probably involved, but I think Turkey has had I mean, when they participated, they had a great run. So
Yeah.
it's a big country with great artists as well, obviously,
Yeah.
massive population, so they could do very well. That would be very exciting to see.
Very diverse culture as well to be represented. So even in two different continents.
Exactly.
So
That's a proper bridge country.
yeah, building bridges.
with the Bosphorus, yeah. But yeah, it's there are I mean, every single year the conversation starts with what countries are going to be coming back. We've heard about Slovakia at some point this summer. We've heard about Bosnia again at some point as well. I've mentioned it before. I would love to see more than 37 countries participating. I would love to make it an even number as well, so that the semi-finals are a bit more balanced. But
Which would make sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, for me, this is a better system than what we had, I don't know, like 15, 20 years ago, when some countries would drop because of the results. So I'd rather still have, as many countries as we can. But obviously, it would be great if we could somehow make it equal naturally and get the balance, because otherwise the only other way to get the balance right is to say, well, we fix it on 36 countries and then there's someone that is just not participating and then we have to exclude them, and that would be a shame. The more the merrier.
Please don't do that.
Exactly.
There was also a lot of conversation about Sanremo. Apparently, the Italian broadcaster Rai didn't want to host Sanremo or a version of Sanremo in the city of Sanremo. That was crazy. I think they had some problems, unsolvable problems, because the Sanremo city had some requirements. And they didn't want to follow it, so they wanted to do another festival outside of Sanremo.
Yeah. I mean, I guess somehow I understand the concerns. When Sanremo started, it was a very different festival, and the city could handle what it could handle, and it's grown into something completely different. But come on. It's like when
has a longer history than even Eurovision. I mean,
yeah,
you
it's
can't
like
really change that.
It's like when Ryanair says that they're sending you to Vienna and you land in Bratislava's airport. It's like,
it might happen next year.
It might happen next year. I am well aware of that. And that's why I brought up that specific example. But yeah, it's like, it is not Sanremo then. Then you have to call it something else.
Yeah. But I don't think, they now agreed on the terms. So at least the following year, in 2026, yes, we will have the Festival of Sanremo in Sanremo.
Yeah, panic
I was
over
really
for
concerned.
a year.
Yeah, but I was concerned. Imagine Italian people, which is really rooted in their culture.
Absolutely. Yeah. It
They
just
were off
doesn't
the
make
roof.
sense. I mean, like I say, it does make sense from a logistical point of view, but it doesn't make sense to call Sanremo if it's not in Sanremo.
Even though you cannot really just after, it started in 1951, after so many years, decide, no, I just want to move cities. They even mentioned Turin.
Yeah.
No, do something else in Turin, or in Rome, or Naples. But just leave Sanremo is Sanremo.
Yeah, exactly.
And talking of Sanremo, there again some rumors that Angelina Mango, La Cumbia de la Noia, might return to Sanremo next year.
And I'm sure she's saying total. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice. She was a great artist. I wasn't that convinced initially. I think we had a bit of a disappointment last year with Mahmoud not going to Eurovision in the end. But I think she was great in the end, and her staging was actually very nice. I love the whole flowery thing. So she could pull off a very cool show, I think.
It was okay. Last year for Angelina in Eurovision was okay. It still is not even in my top 10. I'm not even thinking about Mahmoud in my top 10 Italian entries of all time.
So I am not necessarily thinking that she would win and she would go to Eurovision. What I am saying is she might actually bring the quality up.
Okay.
So I am hoping that there's lots of competition. Maybe Mahmoud will go again. Because he will think third time in Eurovision is a charm. 18th time in Sanremo as well. But I think if we've had years in Eurovision where we've been a bit more like meh. So if you get someone that is great and you know that at least she can pull off something good, then you feel a little bit happier about what Italy could bring to the table. And I always think Italy needs to be up there. It's one of the originals. It's one of those countries that I think understand the brief. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's bad news to get Angelina back. But
no, it's not
rumor.
bad news. I was just saying.
I know, but it is. My point is, it's a rumor anyway.
Yeah.
To be fair, knowing what I know about Sanremo, and I know I don't follow it as much as you, I have a feeling by the time we get to Sanremo, there will be like 20 different artists that have already tried to go to Eurovision before, and are well known to Eurovision fans. And again, the quality will be amazing regardless of who wins. So.
Yeah, it's always great quality in Sanremo anyway. That's why they always are in the top 10 or even top 5 in Eurovision.
I mean, let's remember this year it wasn't even the Sanremo winner that went to Eurovision, and they were still 5th. So, yeah.
Good point. And of course, we know Sanremo is not a national final, but talking about selecting your artist for Eurovision, so Austria and Greece are doing it differently this new season. So they're having a national final.
Yeah.
What do you think? It's a complete change.
I think it's quite cool to have national finals. I think it works great in some other countries. Again, it raises the competition. What do you think?
I also think that it's a good thing in terms of also showing what kind of music do you have in your country, because each year we get this one representative from some countries, of course, but then there's this pool of other artists from that same country that deliver very different genres, very different music, voices, and it's still worth exploring. So for us Eurovision fans, it's great because we'll get to see yet another 2 national finals, but also to get to know more artists.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think it's great. I definitely want to see a bit more of what these countries have in their coffers in terms of artists. I would love to see a bit more as well of like the in this case it would be Greek or maybe German artists playing. I know that Austria it tends to go more for the English route, but Claudia is unbelievable, and I would have never known of her if it wasn't for Eurovision. And I'd love to see that kind of thing, like find more new artists, especially like the younger ones that are coming up. So
it's true that Grace selected Claudia via national selection last year anyway, but we've seen how some countries they do it and then they stop doing it. For instance, Belgium last year they did a national final, then nowhere to be seen this year. But then Austria, that's really surprising because they won last year. So they decided that in any way they would need to do another selection.
Yeah.
And people were saying, oh, just focus on spending all the money in hosting Eurovision rather than putting money out there for doing a national final.
Yeah, but I think first of all they might have been reminded by their win that making an effort pays off, and it's probably just for them, just bringing it a notch up, and it might be a way as well. We know, like we've said, national selections and national finals are a way of getting people from other countries involved. It's a way of somehow promoting as well a little bit the country and what they can do. We know that a lot of fans will travel without tickets to see Eurovision because it's just the experience. So there might be people watching in January, February, March and be like, oh my God, Eurovision is going to happen. I don't have tickets, but I still want to go to the country. So it could be a way of showcasing that a little bit more.
No, you're right. I think it's like a previous step before Eurovision. So it's actually the country celebrating, yes, we're hosting, we're here. So look at us.
Exactly. Exactly. Look, if we can do this national final like this, imagine what we can do for the full show. They could take that approach.
I cannot wait.
But also going back to what you've said about countries that stop doing it and so on, personally, I think one country that could benefit from getting something like this again is actually the UK.
I agree.
Especially if they did something similar to what they do in some of the Nordic countries where they bring juries from outside. You've
international juries.
Exactly. You've mentioned before, for example, that Remember Monday were probably appealing a lot to the British audience, but not so much to anyone else in Europe. By bringing international juries, you could get a different point of view. Like you might be very excited about someone, and then someone else says, maybe not. So there are certain countries that should review how they are doing these things and reconsider.
I think you're totally right, especially with the UK, because we live here. We are in the UK.
We see this, exactly.
We see this, and we feel it because it's part of our culture now. And they hit the jackpot with Sam Ryder, but that was
absolutely.
just one off. They found him on TikTok.
Exactly, that's the thing as well. He was really popular in TikTok, not just with the British audience, but with everyone. Any fan that got reached out by those reels would have seen him and they would know him. So if you are a regular user of TikTok, you've probably come across him. So you're halfway there. Obviously, his work, the song, everything worked. It was an amazing entry, but you need that kind of approach to other fans, and it's not necessarily happening. I mean, we Remember Monday, my friends in other countries didn't really know them.
Oh no, I didn't even know them, and I live here.
Well, I didn't know them before, but even what I mean is in the as we were getting close to the Eurovision season, friends that were not particularly involved, but they watched the semi-finals. They were like, oh yeah, I just saw the British band on the semi-final. I didn't know them before. I literally skipped past. So getting someone that can appeal a little bit more to the rest of Europe would be, I think, a good idea.
Yeah, and the thing with the UK is that I've been actually looking how to apply because I knew someone who wanted to apply. No, not me. One of my students wanted to apply. He's from music, so he wanted to at least send a song. There's no way. You get picked up.
Yeah.
But you cannot even send a song and then they decide. Like in the Netherlands, they don't do a selection. They just receive the songs and they just then pick one or whatever. Or they shortlist something. But here, you cannot even send anything. So it's the producers of the radio stations or, I don't know, the discography company that they would just select you.
Yeah, no, it's. I don't think the system works. I think they're probably thinking, well, we know we hadn't picked Sam, but obviously, I think his background was very different from. Remember Monday? I would say it was also very different from, for example, Ollie's or May Muller. Yes, those ones had a certain built up reputation already in the UK, but again, not so much in Europe. They were not necessarily the artists that became famous via social media, and therefore people don't really know them. So there's no connection there. And unless the song is fantastic and it works for an audience that is ready for that, then they're not going to do well. And that's what happened. I mean, I was watching again the final a couple of days ago. They did very well with the jury, but the audience didn't really award that, basically, or reward that.
Which I predicted. So
You did.
UK selectors, if you want any advice,
Listen to us, people.
we can be the international juries. Well, international but national at the same time.
I mean,
Why
we
not?
work both ways. We're ready to switch nationalities whenever you want. Well, I got two passports, so I'm
You
fine
got
with
the
that.
two, yes, yeah. So we're still, as we said at the beginning, we're reaching the end of the show today. But just to remind you that you can vote for us in the Emma's Award from the 15th of August via their Instagram. And remember that we will get to know the city that will host Eurovision 2026 on the 20th of August. So go to our Instagram or social media channels because, of course, we'll be announcing it.
How are the vibes now? 12. Well, no, I was gonna say 12 days to go. No, it's 7 days. Seven days.
Seven.
7 days to go. How are you feeling? Like, what are you thinking? Surprise, good
just-
surprise, bad surprise. Well, it's gonna be a surprise anyway.
It's gonna be a surprise. I have no idea. I'm just hoping it's Vienna.
Yeah.
Innsbruck looks amazing. So I would go on a day trip, but accommodation there, it's a nightmare because there's just not enough.
Yeah. I think I think I've made up my mind that I will probably visit whichever city does not win, maybe for one day or two just before I go to the main
The
city.
madness begin.
Exactly. So maybe like, the Wednesday or Thursday and be there and see because they look beautiful, both of them. But yeah, I think logistics in terms of transportation, hotels, etc. I think Vienna wins. Although I have to say, looking at the arenas, just on the outside, the Innsbruck arena looks a lot nicer.
It's not what's in the outside.
It's not what's in the outside. I know that. And I have to say, Vienna sort of reminds me a little bit of Basel. So
And they're already hosted there, and that arena.
it is.
So
It
it's
did,
like
and
these
it,
memories.
we know it works. It worked well. Everyone says as well Vienna's 2015 event was very, very well organized. And
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to being able to experiencing that. So if we, if we get Vienna, I will be extremely happy.
Me too. Please let it be Vienna. It be you people. Listen to us too.
Yeah, can we vote? I mean, it would be nice to have like a vote as well.
Yes, I was thinking that probably, but stuff happens with the voting system sometimes. So
Yeah. Well, I am assuming there is a vote because it's probably similar to what happens with the Olympics, where they review the plan.
yeah, they have an
projects,
internal
etc.
one.
But yeah. Anyway, excited about that. I think we're not going to come back probably until September anyway, although of course we will be online.
Yes.
But if I am not mistaken, we're going to have a break.
I'm on holiday, so I'm gonna be away for 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
after the break, of course, we'll be back and we'll be talking about the decision of the city, and probably the dates as well will be announced on the same day.
Are you going to recruit Kesha maybe?
I will try.
She's
She
traveling
can
to the other
be-
side of the pond.
Yeah, she can be a guest for one day. Why not?
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
In the show. People are going to think that I'm going to a Kesha concert now. Which
No,
I'm
no,
not.
no, no. But just like I say, across the pond.
Yes.
Um,
So thank you for listening. And if you are listening on Spotify, you can now watch this in video on YouTube. And if you are in YouTube and you just don't want to listen, you can go to Spotify and re-listen.
this is, we're everywhere now, guys. It's very exciting. And we're putting ourselves out there as well with, any weird silences that we have.
Thank you, and we'll see you and hear you, or you hear from us again soon.
Bye.
Remember, you can subscribe to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, leave a 5-star review, and check out our Instagram account.